How you going, guys? As promised, I wanted to do a cooker. This is our fire pit, rotisserie, our crab cooker, camp oven. Everything is based around this. It's an old 9 kilo gas bottle. It's out of date. I buy these locally. They've already had the valve taken out of them and the tap and everything. They've got a hole in the bottom. They've been cleaned out, so they're ready to go to cut up. So first thing we need to do is work out where to cut it around here, and I've done a little bit of playing around. Like, this is not rocket science. I'm just going to mark it just on the shoulder, above the shoulder, square. Just keep turning it around. This just to make the line where we need to cut with the angle grinder. You don't need a lot of tools to do this. Alright, I'll come back after I've got this all the way around. Righto, so that's the whole line marked around. It's just on that shoulder, all the way around. I mean, it's not rocket science. Nothing has to be perfect. This is just a backyard job and something you can make up on a rainy day. And look, we use this more than what you'd ever believe. So anyway, I'll cut the top off. I'll do the door and sort of talk you through it as we go. Definitely want the safety mask on. It's handy to have a couple of bits of wood like that, so you can just sit down and roll it as you need, and it can't roll away on you. And just a case of cutting it down the line. Piece of cake, really. Gas bottle. Now the whole idea of this, that sits on the bottom, that sits on top, so that's your fire bucket. The beauty of it is, if you cut it in the right place, that fits inside. So you can actually get a box from Bunnings. I've got one here actually. It's almost like a milk crate size, and you can virtually fit everything in, so it's all in a nice little box. One bungee cord type thing over the A-frame, that can sit on there, works perfect. So anyway, in the meantime, we'll keep going with this until we get it finished. Next thing is the door. I will get a flat disc, run around all the edges, just take all the jagged sort of stuff off, and then we'll work on the door. Now, so that's good. I'll do the same with this. I mean, it's only for the fact that whenever you're handling it, you don't have to worry about cutting yourself or anything like that. So yeah, I'll just do the same with this one. Okay, so it just means no sharp edges now. So fits inside beautiful. Alright, so the door on this, we go down 150. Okay, so we want the door 100 mil high and 150 mil long. Just makes it easier if you are ever feeding it from the front. Normally you feed them from the top, but if you are ever feeding them from the front, you can do it like that too. Alright, I'll measure this up, mark it out, and then I'll show you what we've done. 150 on the door. About there. Good thing, a nice flexible ruler. Alright, so that's our doorway, and then all we need is a half decent hinge to put on there, but we will put it the right way around. Now that can be bolted on if you don't have a welder. You can actually bolt that on to both of those. You can do all of this without really having a welder, but a welder does come in handy if you want to really jazz it up, and I'll show you why as we get on a little bit further. Alright, next thing is cut the door out. Same thing again, that's still a bit warm. We'll just clean all those edges up with the flat disc, and the same for in there. Just makes it a lot nicer for down the track. Alright, we cut the door out, and I've also flattened out the seam weld there, likewise on the piece that goes back in. So when we put all that together, I need a few extra hands to do this. The hinges will sit flat. It just makes it, you know, a bit easier to work with. So that's the next thing. I'll weld that on. Like I say, you can bolt it on if you haven't got access to a welder, or if you don't know anybody that's got a welder, or if one of your neighbours has. Give them a couple of beers, ask them to do it for you. Alright, welded that on. There's the door. All we got to do now is give it some good vent holes, and if we want to get the most out of it, I want to set it up so we can use the camp oven and also the crab cooker. And that's only a case of drilling a couple of holes in the right place and a bit of 10mm rod, and yeah, we're nearly there. It's nearly done. And then right at the end, I'll whack a couple of pieces on the side, just a couple of off-cut bits of 25mm box, and I'll make up a small stand for the rotisserie. So it just gives it another use. So this is basically it now, and once we put the holes in, give it a bit of breathing room so I can breathe, it'll be all good. Alright, so after a little bit of mucking about, with a couple of pieces of timber, worked out roughly where we want the rails to go. So we've got these two here, and all we're going to use these for is marking where we're going to drill all the holes. But they're all about 160mm apart on the outside edge, and I'll just draw a line on there, and that's where we'll run our straight lines down and drill all our holes compared to that. Just that's it. Just so our spaces are about the right place. So now, time for the square. Now, the top of this is not dead level by any means, but it's close enough. I mean, yeah. Alright, so that's everything parallel on the gas bottle now. We've just got to measure down the right distance in all four, and that will be our main rails going across to sit the camp oven on, or to sit the gas burner on and sit the crab cooker up on top. Then it's just a case of drilling all the holes, which I probably should have done before, but either way, doesn't matter. Alright, measure down. Okay, so we go 60mm down from the top. That's our first hole. You need to work out the height of the second hole, the bottom hole, and that is quite important because you need to have it at the right height so your gas ring can fit underneath it and still clear the bars on top. The top measurement was 60mm down, the second measurement is 160. Righto, I'll just centre punch them and drill those 4 out. I have got a bit of rod there, a bit of 10mm rod. I'll cut a few lengths of that, and yeah, next is next. Righto. Easy as that. Drill a couple of holes. Not with these drill bits, I'm not. That's all the smaller holes done. I'm just going to take them out now to be able to accept a 10mm rod, so we need a good 10mm, maybe a little bit bigger drill bit. Alright, so there's our 4 pieces of rod. These just go in, and that's why it was important that we get the angle of the dangle right to be able to go through. So that's their job. Now, last time we were at the scrap steel, we picked up a couple of these. They're just a nice solid steel disc. This one's a bit of an overkill, it's 8mm thick. That sits in the bottom of the fire pit. So it's got a few different uses. We normally attach these, something like this, with a small chain, because when you go to tip the ash bucket out, 9 times out of 10 you tip that out. And it wouldn't be the first time we've had to backtrack 15 k's to a campsite because we tipped that out and we forgot about it. But anyway, that's got a couple of uses. So now we've got the fire drum, that in the bottom. You can put all your heat beads on there. Alright, we want to use a camp oven. Put them in the top holes here. You can put all your heat beads in underneath. Sit your camp oven on top. A few more heat beads on top, you use that, yeah, that works great. Heat beads are a bugger of a thing to light, but you can use a little gas torch. I found out that's the best way to use them, to get them lit. So that's one use for it. You can have a fire under there and do it as well, but heat beads works good too. Now, another thing you can do with this, put the bottom bars in, put our plate in, and our gas ring. Now, a lot of people have these for crab cookers. They are great, make them even better, you get the right size drill bit and you go around and clean out all your holes with the drill. Because they're a cast, they're not a really good cast, and by doing that it gives you a much better flame. Cooks your crabs heaps quicker. So this goes in here like so. These rods go across here, hold everything in place. If you wanted to, again, you could use your camp oven with a gas cooker, but we use that for a crab cooker, not with this pot of course. We have got the perfect size pot. You can get them from Big W for about 20 bucks. They've got a glass lid. They fit in here with about 10 mil to spare all the way around, so you're not losing any heat. They work fantastic as a crab cooker. Now, also, the next step, I've still got to drill all my holes yet to give it plenty of ventilation, but I will weld on the two sides and make the rotisserie brackets. But I'm going to do that after lunch. Chris is going to take me out for lunch. Last day off. For a while again, probably. So we're going to go out and have some lunch and I'll come back to this after lunch. Alright, so back from lunch. Actually, we're a few days later. Ted's turned up. So we're going to get this finished and get it ready to put a roast on. Probably tomorrow night. We've still got to burn it yet. But we've got to put plenty of air holes in for ventilation, and we've got to weld on the brackets on the side for the rotisserie, but we'll get to that after we get the air holes done. Right, so that's all the holes are drilled. I have used this, it's called a step drill. First time I've ever used one actually. Ted put me onto this. Probably one of the most useful things he's ever done for me. But anyway, it's drill the hole and you just take it out to whatever size you want. Alright, so next step's going to be welding the brackets on for the rotisserie and welding a handle on each of the bars that go through here. But we're getting pretty close to finished. Okay, so this is the finished product. I've welded the little sleeves on here, both sides. Now I've made these up. These are out of 20 mil into 25 mil box. The only thing you got to watch is if there's a seam inside there, you might have to hit it out with the die grinder. Okay, and basically that's it. I've welded a little chain link on for the door. I've welded half chain links on all of these rods, just so you don't push them right through. So all we've got to do now is light a fire in it, burn all that paint off. I'll clean it up tomorrow, give it a coat of heat-proof paint, and we'll do a rotisserie on it tomorrow night. But tomorrow I'll run through everything that can be done with it. Alrighty, that's it for today. Time to have a beer. You get a good fire going in there, burn all that paint off. Paint's starting to blister up and burn. Gonna have a big cracking fire in there. We just got to wait for it to get really going. She's well and truly loaded up, but the paint's starting to come off. Righto, so this is pretty much a finished product. The box here, plastic box from Bunnings, I think they're about $7 or $8. Yeah, not much at all. So basically, this out the way. Now you can see we've painted it all black, or with a bit of high temp paint. So I'll get rid of that. That's basically the basic fire pit. We've got the rods here that go through, but we'll run through everything. So that's your basic fire pit. If you want to have a fire, if you want to use your camp oven, put 2 rods in there. Actually, up the top, we use the top ones. The rods up the top. Okay. Alright, so you can either use heat beads or use a fire, and it's actually quite stable. Okay, so there's your camp oven on there. Heat beads underneath, or a fire underneath and some heat beads on top, or some coals on top, either way. But that works great. Also, a little bit more mucking about. We put 2 rails in down the bottom. Put our plate on there. Steel plate, the one that we picked up from the scrap yard. Alright, now this will want to sit up a little bit. Now that was the reason why we had to get the distance between the bottom rods and the top rods the right position. So this can hold this in here like so. Now, the pot. This is one of those pots, I'm pretty sure it's Big W. 20, 25 bucks, whatever they are. For cooking crabs, you will not get anything better. It is brilliant. And it's a perfect fit. There is no waste. All the heat gets transferred to the pot. So it does boil your water very quickly. So yabbies, crabs, whatever you want to cook in that is all good. But also, we'll take this out. Down here, the other 2 bars out. Now, this gas mate kit you can get from Bunnings, battery powered rotisserie. Now, yeah, they are just great. So it's basically, this is what all this was made for. Our little slots, and we've got holes here to put pins in, have them at different heights. If your fire's really hot, you have them sitting up there. As your fire burns down, you drop them to the next height, and the best part is if you've got a good fire, you have them sitting right down like that. Battery powered rotisserie, and the batteries last forever and a day. I don't think I've ever worn out a set of batteries, even in my old one. I might have changed them once. And that's it. You have your fire going. Try not to cook with the flames, but you cook more with the coals and just the heat. And we tend to find that if you have a nice fire to start with, and then you just load your wood right around the edges so you're not directly under your meat, it works the best. And it makes the best pork roast. Chicken, lamb, beef, you name it. But the pork is exceptional. It seems to really absorb the smoke taste out of the meat, out of the wood, out of the fire. So we're going to put one on the Savi and we'll show you that cooking. Well, we're just getting a bit of a fire going, nice and steady. We're going to do a nice pork roast on here, the Savi. Ted's down with us for the weekend. It's a good way to spend the Sunday afternoon. Ted's just called in for the weekend. He could smell a roast coming. He's always here for a free feed. So he's come back from, where was it?
Daniel from Leisure Entertainment at Kunda Park. He done all the new battery system in my van, or 400 amp hour lithium. Yeah,
because you got your AGMs taken out and you put the lithiums in.
AGMs taken out. It's a 10-year-old van. The AGMs weren't cutting anymore, so instead of wasting the money on more AGMs, we went with the lithium.
All right,
drive.
Give us a look.
Beautiful, beautiful job.
give us a look at what he's done.
Righto, let's go.
Righto, this is just going into Ted's van. Very similar layout to ours with the rear ensuite, big fridge, cafe dining. But his van, your van's a 20 footer, isn't it?
20 foot, yes, that's right.
Whereas ours is a 19. Let's have a look at what they've done. And I'll put up a photo of what was here before.
Yep. And there'll be a link down below if you ever want to get in contact with Daniel. Beautiful job, good pricing.
That's pretty neat, isn't it?
Very neat.
Look at all the wiring. Everything's all cabled and...
Everything's brand new, nothing was used from previous.
That's nice. And he put in the E-Pro.
E-Pro.
That's that one there.
Yep.
Because you had the old digital one in there that was prehistoric.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I'll put a photo of that up too if I got it. Alright, no, it looks good. I'll put up a bit of a sign or a link or something to for Daniel, because geez, that is pretty.
Yeah, when you see the before and after, and you've seen the after, you'll see the before.
Yeah.
Very nice, neat job.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And 400 amp hours of lithium.
That's more than enough. And we had 4 120 AGMs, double the power. Never have problems with power again. I run 2 fridges, got the big 220 litre Waco. I've got a 40 litre Angle fridge on the slide out the side of the van.
That's his beer fridge.
Yeah, that runs all the time. That one runs all the time. Yeah, got the TV, got everything going, so never have problems with power again.
Yeah, working good. Just a little fire to start with until we get all that paint nice and seasoned on there. And then it won't matter, we should be able to have cracking big fires.
May as well put another bit on.
Yeah, keep it going.
Bugger the seasoning.
Right, well, the heat-proof paint seems to be a winner. I've never normally painted them before. I've had a few of these. It seems to be working pretty good. Got a little bit too much flame there to cook a roast, so what I'll use is the pins in the uprights. I'll show you that in a minute, and we'll put the roast on. We'll just keep it above the flame so it doesn't burn the roast. Alright, that's our roast pork, ready to go on. And battery powered rotisserie, and away it goes. We will drop it down a little bit after this fire dies down a little bit more and we've just got coals, but yep, that's the gist of it. Should be good. He's going all right. She's just loaded it up with a bit more fresh wood, so she's smoking like a chimney.
A bit smoky taste there, mate, eh?
Love the smoky taste. That's pretty good. I'm liking that. Liking that a lot. A couple of sangers. A couple of nice roast pork sangers for dinner. We didn't do the roast veggies, but yeah, we've had a few beers, so it doesn't matter. And look at this for crackling. Ready? Bloody beautiful.